Hey there, folks. Thanks so much for joining us. We're here with Satria Kusuma of Memorial University. Satria, take it away.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. I hope, or good morning, depending on where you are. Good morning or good afternoon. My name is Satya Kusuma. I am the International Student Recruitment Officer here with the Office of the Registrar at Memorial University of Newfoundland. We're located in the east coast of Canada. In a province called Newfoundland and Labrador. So we're at the very easternmost side of the country, if you are familiarized with the geography of Canada. So thank you so much once again. And firstly, I would like to thank Logan for helping me with the presentation today. He'll be monitoring the chat, and thank you so much for audience, the attendees today to attend the session. And also, if you do have any questions, feel free to insert them in the chat, and we will be going over them um, at the end of the presentation. And so let's begin with the presentation right away. We do have a few things to go over, so I don't want to make this start any more delays. So today, for those of you who are joining, today I'll be going over the presentation for the uh, St. John's campus program and programs at the university. Also, there is going to be some overlapping with programs that are other campuses, but I'll explain along the way. Uh, so this will be a comprehensive presentation tailored to number one, international students, and number two, I think the most importantly is for undergraduate programming, and not our graduate programs. I understand that this fair is I've received questions both from the interest on our undergraduate and our graduate programs, but this presentation specifically will be for undergraduate programming. I understand that if you do have any questions in regards to graduate program, feel free to connect with me after the presentation. I'd be more than happy to connect you with my colleagues at our School of Graduate Studies. But apart from that, I will begin. Firstly, 1 second now. Oh, there you go. I want to just start with why do you want to study in Canada specifically? I mean, the world is a big place out there, and why Canada specifically? The one thing that I like to mention to students, to parents, to counselors when I go do my recruitment missions, I touch on five main things. Number one is the high quality of education. You know, Canada is one of the most renowned, known for their high quality of education, and this is in par a comparison to other countries such as the U.S., UK, France, and Australia, because usually those are the most famous destination for international students to study abroad to. But at the same time, Canada offers at a more affordable tuition and the cost of living. So we're very competitive when it comes to the tuition and the cost of living in comparison to those countries that I've just mentioned as well. So not only that you have of high quality of education that you're receiving, at the same time you also have an option to choose from an affordable price point as well. Like I said, it's a range of price point, but it's also affordable. And thirdly, we do live in a multicultural society as well, and I think this is a lot of one of the major key significant anxiety that international students sometimes faces, because when they go abroad, a lot of the times students that are going abroad for the first time, they would like to um, you know see what kind of communities are there um, um, in that part of the city that they're going to. But rest assured that from east to the west coast, whether it be rural area or even urban bigger city areas, there are a lot of diversity in the community, regardless of the size. um, uh, the next point is work and study. So this is one of the things that I think Canada is really, I think, really provide of a competitive edge when it comes to the working opportunity as well as while you're studying. So when you are as an international student, in some jurisdictions in other countries, it does not necessarily mean that while you are completing your study, you can work part time at the same time. But here in Canada, however, as an international student, you are entitled to work part time during your academic term. And if you are on a scheduled break, meaning that usually it's in the summer semester when you're not taking any courses, you can pursue work full time during that period. So, that option of being able to work in Canada provides an opportunity for students to earn a little bit more income on the side as they pursue their studies. But at the same time, to me, I think it's really valuable because not only that you are able to study, but you can also pursue your experiences on the side so that you can equip yourself and build your resume at an early stage of your academic career. And the last but certainly not least, there is opportunity for you to begin your career in Canada or anywhere you choose. So this is a very good point as well to bring, because when you study in Canada after you graduate with your degree program, 4-year degree program at your specific university, you will be able to have the choice to stay in Canada up to 3 years, depending on the program, to stay in Canada after you graduate. And should you choose to pursue your and immigrate in Canada, there are opportunities to become a permanent resident, and there are the various permanent resident pathways that you can take avail of depending on the which province that you reside in. So those are the 5 main points that I usually mention when trying to explain to international students why you choose Canada. And the next thing is why Memorial specifically. And I like to go into the number side because it's much more visually pleased for me, because that's all. I don't like when it comes to a lot of wording, but I think for this is a good visualization of Memorial University. And I think the first one is, I think, 5 campuses that needs to be updated. Recently, we do have an additional campus that we've added at in our at Labrador, in Labrador Institute. So we do have 6 campuses. The majority of our 5 campuses are located in the province. To the campuses in St. John's, which is on the east coast of Newfoundland, and on the west coast, we do have the Granville campus. We do have the Labrador Institute, and also we do have a campus in the UK in Harlow, which is an opportunity for students to take advantage of should they want to do an exchange or work term and so on, should that be an option. We do offer over 300 program options at the university, and the student population is I say medium size. We do have a population of just over 19,000 students, and 20%, just over 20% now of those 19,000 students are international students, and that's comprised of undergraduate and graduate students here at Memorial University. The class faculty student ratio is relatively, even though it's a bigger size institution, the ratio is still relatively small, 16 to 1. And as a student, you do have the option to study abroad. A lot of the programs that we offer, they do at times have an options for you to do a study abroad option, to do an exchange, and also work there, depending on the program, obviously. But there are those choices for you to do to study abroad. With more than 125 of our partner institution globally. So that is certainly an option when you are a memorial student. Sorry if I'm just looking on the side. I'm looking at another screen so I can change the presentation. And just more information about Newfoundland and Labrador. We are, as I mentioned, on the easternly most side of the province. We are unique in our location, in the sense that we do have the coast, the Atlantic Ocean, and due to that, we do have a specialized programming here at our other campus, and also, our climate is very moderate because we are on an island. We have a coastal climate. It can get very low, but not as low as other places in Canada. Uh, Newfoundland and Labrador, we're generally very safe, clean, and very welcoming and hospitable city. There are direct flights that you can get from main hub areas such as Toronto, Montreal, and London. I think London right now has been halted since the before the pandemic, but I think right now usually flights that you can take to get to St. John's or even the West Coast are either from Toronto, Montreal, and usually Halifax as well. And just a picture that I'd like to show everyone. This is the picture of St. John's. St. John's is where our main campus is located. The biggest campus that we have is in St. John's. And this is just a view of the downtown St. John's. And I think you can view on the back here. If you can see my cursor here, that's where our majority of our St. John's campus is located. And just to zoom into where my cursor was to, this is the St. John's campus, and there you can see here. I'll show you the residence. I'll get into the residence, on-campus residence, later on in the presentation. But you can see various buildings. But this is all this St. John's campus. As I mentioned, there are two campuses at the in St. John's. The other one is the Marine Institute. The Marine Institute is only located 15 minutes close to the main St. John's campus, and they have a very focused. They offer a variety of programs as well, mostly in fisheries and maritime sector, and they're very closely linked to industry programming. And the West Coast, this is Corner Brook. We do have another campus on the West Coast of Newfoundland and Labrador called the Grenfell campus, and the campus does focus on more so on the environmental science program, as well as the fine arts, so theater and Bachelor of the Fine Arts, where you can go to. And as I mentioned, a world of opportunities to study abroad. So not only that, if you once you come to Canada, once you come to St. John's, once you come to Memorial University, not only that you are going to be avail of the various resources that we have, but you can also, depending on the program, you can also study abroad. There are options that are available for you. At our Harlow campus, there are faculty program exchange opportunities, and like I said, work term and internships available. We do have 120 or partner universities that we have globally, so there are for you to choose from as well. And I'm gonna go briefly into the student life piece because I think this is very important for international students because as an international student myself, when I came here to Canada, prior to me working for Memorial University, I was a student pursuing my post-secondary studies here at Memorial University. But prior to even when you get admitted to Memorial University, and as you prepare yourself to your move from your place to Memorial University, whether it be in St. John's on or at Grenfell, you will have the opportunity to take avail of our services, arrival services here on campus. As an international student, we do offer the arrivals program, where our internationalization office here on campus will help you and assist you in arrivals checklist. Basically, before you come, we do have an airport grading service where our student staff rather, help and assist you, welcome you at the airport, and they will help you settle, and the office also assists with you trying to find off campus if you choose to live off campus. But if it is on campus, then they will help you with that as well. There are welcome week where new international, not just international students, but all new students can take advantage of, where they will be getting familiarized with all the resources that the on campus resources got to offer. There are mentorship program and a whole variety of international student services that are offered at our internationalization office and other student life department as well. In terms of when you are now in taking courses and you are at the university, there are academic support available for you, the academic resources that you can take avail of as well. There are academic advising where they will be able to assist you with the courses that you need to take for your specific programming. Academic help centers where if you do need extra support when it comes to that course that you're finding difficulty with, there are specific help centers where they will be able to support you outside of the classes as well. And we do have support provides learning accommodation should that be a need or requirement for you. We do have also student-run resource centers where students themselves provide support for other students, and that is, I think, one of the things that when I was international student, I did take advantage of that. And last but not least, the career development side. Not only that you will be pursuing your academic journey, but at the same time, we do have the career development office where they will assist you with your professional development growth as well, should that be something that you want to focus at the same time in conjunction with your studies as well. And similarly, if you also are very keen in not not uh, to also pursue in volunteering and putting some time on the side to do some community service, we do have a comprehensive list of a student association and club and societies where you can take advantage. And there are also various departments and offices here on campus that can usually provide opportunities to volunteer for students to get that hours, and also to not just provide an opportunity for you to be active on campus apart from just studying, because it is always good to take part of the community as well. So there are opportunities for you to get involved on campus, and as well as jobs on and off campus. As I mentioned earlier in the presentation, as an international student, you do get the opportunity to work with your permit to work on or off campus, and we do offer that as well at the university. And health and wellness, we do have fitness facilities here on campus, and all students are able to take advantage of that. And you would be paying as part of your um, other fees, including not including tuition, but tuition and other fees for fitness facilities where you can take advantage of that on campus. There are varsity teams and intramural games that you can take advantage of as well. And our medical and counseling services are also on campus. Just like to touch base with the student residences. As a first year international student, you do get a choice to live on campus, should that be something that you are interested in. We do have various residences that you can choose from Payton College, McPherson College to Burn Spawn. Payton College is more of a dormitory style where most of the rooms that are available are double rooms, so you'd be sharing a room with someone else. There are single rooms as well where you would not need to share, but the predominant availabilities are usually double rooms. There are McPherson College where you are, and it's like in between from a dorm and apartment where you have your a single room. You don't share a room, but you share um, uh, your washroom with your housemate. And there are Burton Ponds apartments where it's more of a, as the word mentioned, apartment style accommodation for students, where they have a kitchen and a shared washroom, and usually you're with someone else, not in the same room, but in an apartment itself. And meal plan, we do have is mandatory for people that are living on Payton College or McPherson College here on the St. John's campus, just because there are no kitchen facility for those residences. And we can talk about more information can be found on our website in terms of pricing and whatnot. And also at the West Coast, we do at our Grenfell campus, we do have residences as well. Similarly, you can take advantage of that should you want to choose on campus, and a meal plan is available, but it is not required. Want to touch base too on the tuition here. I know that a lot of questions that I will get usually will be about the tuition costs for international students, and I will mention that this is for international students and not for local permanent resident or Canadian citizens, uh, or local Newfoundland and Labrador resident. For international students per year, the tuition is 20,000 Canadian dollar. And I would say, for the tuition and other costs, living costs, other university fees, it will total around 13 to 15,000. So budget yourself around. This is just perhaps an outdated number, but I would say around 33 to 35,000 Canadian dollar annually for your studies here. And just to also touch on the some entrance or some scholarship is available. There are entrance scholarship that Memorial University offers here, and it would depend on your academic performance. And they will look when you apply, when you get admitted to the university, they will look at your academic performance based on your transcript that you provide, and you will be able to be considered for an entrance scholarship valued at up to maximum of $4,000 Canadian. And there are other further opportunities for scholarship beyond first year. However, it would depend on the programs that you are with, because other programs, they have their own specific scholarships available to them. And usually, when it comes to those scholarship, you will need to maintain a higher average or higher GPA to get the scholarship, because it is very competitive. And to touch on the general admissions here, I want to just mention this. Depending on your program, and I want to be clear that this is what I'm showing is just a number of curriculums that we have, that we accept. We do have a list of other curriculums, on our website. So I'm just showing this because the majority of our students, they do have usually take IGCSE, GCSE, International Baccalaureate, IB rather, or the International High School. But generally, for general admission requirements, we do need a B average, so a 70% average in the five required subject areas. So at the senior level, so grade 12, we will be looking at your maths, your English, one of the laboratory science, including physics, chemistry, or biology, one social science or another second language, and last but not least, another elective or one other subject. So that's usually at the secondary level. We do look at the those five required subjects at 70% average for a minimum general admission requirements. For the IGCSE or GCE, to get into to be admitted, for general admissions requirements, you will need five O levels subjects in the required I mentioned there, five required subject areas, five O levels plus three AS or two A levels. So depending on what you do, five plus three AS, five O levels plus or two A levels, with a minimum grade of C in each, and um, um, that is required for the general admission requirements. And for the IB, the International Baccalaureate, you will need a minimum score of 24 for the general admissions requirement. And as I mentioned, once again, these are just a three selected, I guess, curriculum that we look for. And if you are completing a different curriculum right now, or have completed the different curriculum, do not worry. Just you can go to our website here at the bottom on the memorial. www.mon.ca and slash undergrad slash admission slash I want to apply, and you can look at the international curriculum that you have completed in your high school, and we do list them out by country. So whichever curriculum that you have completed, you can check the admission requirements for that, for your specific curriculum. Sorry. So along with the general admissions requirements, we will also be required for the majority of the applicants to provide an English language proficiency. Obviously, unless you have done your studies in an English language high school or secondary level, a minimum of 3 years in a fully high school, high internationally accredited curriculum, then you will necessarily not need to provide the language proficiency test, and our admissions officer will look into that, if you can be waived for the English proficiency test. If not, then there are various standardized English tests that you can do, including IELTS, Duolingo, TOEFL, Cambridge, and PTE, that you can take to for your application. And the tests are mentioned on the screen there. And this is also can be found on the website, in case you don't need to take notes. If you do need the information again, it's also shown on the website. And I'm just gonna, I do have 15 more minutes. I'm aware of the time, so I'm gonna be just rushing it a bit now, so that I want to go into some questions and answer some questions there, because I do have a few questions that has come up. But for the general admissions programs, so on the based on the minimum average that I mentioned briefly in previous previous slides, you will be able to take the Bachelor of Arts, but International Bachelor of Arts in Bachelor of Business Administration, or Bachelor of Business Administration Commerce, or the co-op, the Bachelor of Environmental and Sustainability, and the Bachelor of Science. And admission will be based on meeting the minimum admission criteria, which is mentioned earlier. However, there may be additional requirements in the first year that may be asked uh, to continue with the program. And most of these programs that I mentioned here for the general admissions program, their intake are predominantly in the fall semester, which is in September, or in the winter semester, which is in January. And on a more competitive program, so competitive meaning that the seats are very limited, so we can only take a certain number of students in those programming. So in nature, it will be a competitive admissions for a limited number of seats. We do have the Bachelor of Engineering, a co-op, Bachelor of Fine Arts, the Human Kinetics and Recreation, or short HKR, in those listed programs in the HKR, and last but not least, Bachelor of Music. And admission for these programs that are more competitive, there are usually additional attributes that you need to consider, meaning that I mentioned that the minimum general admissions for the previous programs is C, or 70%. But in this more competitive programming, we do require you to have a higher grade, usually a minimum of an A, to be considered. And you do have to do specific course that in your high school to be in to apply to this program. And you have, sometimes they look at your English, and you need to get a higher score in your English, or advanced English proficiency. And in the sense of, for Bachelor of Music or Bachelor of Fine Arts, you do need to have an addition, or a past portfolio that you can submit, or you will need to submit. And at the end, usually you will need to have references, a referee that you will need to submit. And the intake for this competitive programs are usually, most cases than not, are in the fall semester only, which is in the September. But engineering is going to be in the fall, winter, or spring. And and also similarly with our this programming, Bachelor of Education, Music Education, Bachelor of Special Education, and Bachelor of Social Work, you will need to do, there is no direct entry from high school. You will need to do a 1 year at the university, doing prerequisite courses before you can apply to this programs. And similarly with our health professional programs, they are very competitive. So including the nursing and the pharmacy, you will need to do 1 year general, university, when you need to complete prerequisite courses to apply to nursing or pharmacy. And usually there are seats given to the residents of Newfoundland and Labrador before they open it to. There are certain number of seats for residents that are outside of the province, which includes international as well. And just to mention, Doctor of Medicine is a second degree here in Canada. It's not a first degree. So in order for you to apply for a Doctor of Medicine, so medical degree, you would need to have a degree already. And unfortunately for the Memorial University of Newfoundland, you will need to be a permanent resident or a citizen of Canada before you can apply to the medical school. And just for this, I'm just going to say that there are opportunities for you to do a joint degree program with a variety of bachelor arts, bachelor business, and so on. There are joint degrees or double majors available for you. I mean, I'm not going to spend so much time in this, but if you are interested, I can talk talk to you directly about them, but they are also available on the website as well. And we do offer graduate programs, as I mentioned at the beginning. We do offer graduate programs, PhD and masters, but I can't talk about them because I'm here only for undergraduate programs. If you want to know more about our graduate programming at the master's or PhD level, my colleague at the School of Graduate Studies, they will be able to assist you better. And I don't mind connecting you with them if you provide me, if you're okay in providing me your contact information. And looking ahead, I mean, giving some time in when you want to start, and you should, if you want to start in fall, you should perhaps consider applying, because our fall 2023, I mean, because our fall 2023 intake is now open. And usually for international students, I would advise to apply early, so that you can have an extra time for you to apply for your visa or permit should you be admitted to the university. We do have a virtual tour that we provide for students. Feel free to take advantage of that. It is offered through our office. So do take advantage of that should you want to look explore the campus prior. Oops. And I mentioned March 1st, deadline will be the fall September, and other programs, and October 1st, which has already been passed, will be the deadline for winter admission. So definitely apply for the March 1st fall intake. And last but not least, this is my contact information. You can scan that QR code and provide your information, insert your information there as well. But yeah, keep in touch. You have my contact information there. Take notes of that. And I am going to be, I'm not just by myself. I have two other colleagues with me that are doing international recruitment. So one of us will be able to assist you depending on you where you are. And we do go out in the new year to various jurisdiction to do to go on visits, so feel free to take advantage of that. Sign up for our communication plan, where when we do go out to certain areas, certain countries, certain cities rather, you can we usually send an email to prospective applicants around those areas, so that if you want to talk to us further, we'd be happy to do that as well. So I do aware of my time. I do have another just over 5 minutes. Um, I will go into the question and answer in the remaining of my time. I think I'm gonna. Okay. Feel free to. I'm just gonna go from top bottom quickly for the questions here, but feel free to keep asking, answering those questions. What's the cost of living in St. John's? The cost of living in St. John's is going to be vary depending on 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 the what how your lifestyle is, how where you live, and so on. But like I said, I think the best thing is to budget yourself around 13 to 15,000 for cost of living. That's including your house, and at the same time your food and all, and entertainment as well. I would say be safe on that sense. I can't really say the average as well, because it varies. So I would say 13 to 15,000 Canadian dollar to budget yourself for living costs, apart from the university tuition. How's the weather in Newfoundland? The weather in Newfoundland is moderate, as I mentioned. We are on an island, so that means we get insulated from the sea. So in the winter semester, I say winter semester. In the winter season, we don't get a very low temperature compared to other mainland provinces. Also in the summer, we don't get very high summer temperatures. However, we do tend to get a lot more snow. If you like snow, then this is a place to be. I love snow, so I think I'm in the right place. But usually, I would say the weather can be moderate in here in Newfoundland. What countries do you usually come from besides Canada? I mean, that's a list of something that I probably takes the time for me to list, but we do uh, we do have over 115 countries that come of students coming from other countries to study here in Newfoundland. Is there co-opportunities, internship options for international students? Absolutely, depending on your program, you do have the options to do a co-op. Usually, when you go to our website, you go look at the program. There are if there are co-op option, that means you are some programs you have to do. It's compulsory, mandatory for you to do co-op. Some are not. Some are called internship. So for international students, you are certainly there are options for you. It's not just for it's for anyone. Depend This for the program. If the program requires you to do a co-op, then you will need to do a co-op. So I have to scroll up when. What facility does more? What facilities does more offer? I mean, that's very. Do you have any specific facilities in what sense? Facilities we do offer the wellness, medical. We do offer the gym. There are a lot of facilities. What kind of facilities are you looking for? Usually on campus, there's a complete set of facilities that your students can take advantage of. The library, the food court. We do have the university center there where students usually hang around. But we do have a variety of facilities that's offered here on campus. How do I get an advisor prior to submitting my application? Usually, an advisor would be you would be connected when you get admitted to the university. But if you have any further questions when it comes to prior submitting your application, one of us, including myself, I'll be happy to sit down with you to talk about the various concerns or questions that you may have prior to submitting an application. And also, we're happy to help you submit the application, or sit down with you to go over the application yourself as well. So feel free to shoot me an email, and I'm happy to connect if that is something that you want to do. Can apply for masters with HND, higher national diploma from Nigeria University. As I mentioned on presentation, I'm not speaking on the master's program. Unfortunately, I am just talking on the undergraduate programming. But happy to connect you, like I said, to our School of Graduate Studies. My colleagues there will be happy to assist you to do to answer your questions. Uh, Sorry, I'm just scrolling up. What other courses are related to health besides nursing that what other courses as I mentioned, we do offer the apart from nursing, we do offer the Bachelor of Pharmacy and medicine, which is a second degree. But apart from nursing, we do have the Bachelor of um, of doctor. And we do have other programs that are at the master's level. But like again, if that is something that you are interested in, like for example, master's public health, we do offer that at the graduate level. But I can't really talk more about that because I'm not fully aware of the program. But we do have several more master's program at the um, um, related to health specifically. What scholarship opportunities does your school offer in master? Okay. Um, yeah, so master's level, it varies depending on the program, depending on the faculty. Again, all the masters that I'm seeing here, feel free to connect with me in the chat room or in at our booth, and drop me a chat, and I'll be happy to collect your information and pass it along to my colleagues. Um, what is there a top-up nursing program at Memorial University? I'm not quite sure what you mean by top-up nursing program, but we do have nursing program for international students is a 4-year degree program. However, to apply to nursing, usually you need to have usually spend 1 year of general university taking prerequisite courses for the nursing program before you apply. So 1 year plus the 4 year. Um, what is the required GPA required for international student? The minimum required GPA will be dependent on the program curriculum that you've completed in at the high school level. So I would suggest, as I mentioned, go to our admission website and look at the minimum. So look at the country or look at the curriculum that you've completed, and we have the minimum requirements for admissions for that specific program or curriculum that you've completed. How no how What are eligible programs for international students? I mean, apart from the doctor of medicine, medical school, I think uh, as an international student, you are eligible for all the programs that's listed on the presentation. Or if you go to our website, you will be able to see the all the programs that's there. And unless it states otherwise, you are eligible to apply to that as international students. What is the most popular program in Memorial? I mean, that's very objective, in my opinion. But right now we do have a growth in enrollment in computer science. Our engineering program is very competitive. Our science program is very competitive, as well as our business program. So depending on what it is, usually I see growth. The growth is definitely in the computer science due to the demand um, in the tech sector or tech industry. There we do have a significant growth when it comes to a Bachelor of Science in Computer Science. Is there a specific major financial aid or fully funded? Unfortunately, we do not have a fully funded scholarship at the university level. I did mention that we have a entrance scholarship that is valued at 4,000 up to 4,000 Canadian dollar. If when you get admitted, that is very competitive scholarship. So they will look at your academic performance, but certainly look at the website for international. If I've given you a link on the scholarship, definitely look at that. How am I with timing there, Logan? Sorry. Being a high school student, grade 11 scores, grade 12 predicted grades, area scores I will have when I apply. Being a high school student, grade 11. Yeah, so when it comes to predicted grades, their question on the chat, I mean, if you will get conditional letter because you apply with the predicted grades, your final grade offer will be based on your final certificate. So if you don't get that final certificate, the predicted grades, unfortunately you will not meet the admission requirement. So talk to our admissions officer. So definitely you will need to have that. It is conditional. So if it's not, if you don't meet that grade, then unfortunately it's going to be, you will not get the offer letter. We do not have any waiver fee application at this moment in time. I apologize for that. Any master's degree program, graduate level degree program, feel free to chat with me, and I will get your information. Sorry, Logan, I think I cut you off there. How am I with time?
Not at all. We're a little bit over, but if you want to keep taking questions, you're more than welcome.
Oh,
We can go over for the last few. It's
yeah.
up to you.
Okay. If you don't mind, I'll just go over until in for the next 10 minutes, less than 10 minutes for the
Of course, please do.
because I'm
Thanks.
getting a lot of questions. Um, I'm not gonna go over all the master's or graduate level programs because, as I mentioned to you, I cannot answer graduate, master's or PhD level programming questions. If you do want further informations for these programs after this presentation, feel free to either shoot me an email or you can touch base with me at the booth there, and I can chat with you. Um, Do this university offer undergraduate, graduate admission scholarship for international students? Yeah, scholarship already mentioned. We do have scholarship for entrance scholarship, but we do not have a full scholarship, and there are opportunities for you to get scholarship beyond the first year, depending on the program that you do. Usually, we do look at the your academic performance because it is very competitive. Is there any software engineering program at the university? So, software engineering, we that is more on computer science side. So if you do if you do like more on the software side, you go usually students take the computer science route in Bachelor of Science, and we do have computer engineering, which is combination of hardware and software, which is offered through our faculty of engineering and applied science, and you can take a bachelor of engineering in computer science. Sorry, in computer engineering. A lot of questions that I'm seeing is about statements, personal statement essays, and things of that nature. Guys, just let me reiterate for what I've mentioned in previous slides, that the minimum requirements are outlined unless you apply for a specific program or more competitive program that requires an essay. Then that's when you submit those required documents, including essay, personal statement. But unless it's stated otherwise, you do not need, nor will we look at the personal statement or anything else for that matter. So definitely look at the admissions website there and see what's required. If what's required is certain subject areas, and that's going to be that what we'll be looking at for admissions and nothing else. What is the requirement to study nursing? Nursing is one of our more competitive program as well. So I can list out all the subjects here, but usually you do need to before you apply for the 4-year degree program on nursing, you you do 1 year general program where you do some biology, math, science courses, and English courses before you apply for the nursing program. And I think I'm just gonna stop there and can IELTS be waived? No, unfortunately, all the uh, English standardized proficiency tests will not be able to be waived unless you have done certain program in English for a certain period of time, and our admissions officer will be able to assess that. I think that's a good way to end. All the best to Canada in the World Cup. Thank you so much. I think I'll be rooting for Canada and I think they're playing in just under an hour. I think I'm gonna be tuning that in after this session, of course. But happy to, thank you so much for those who have stayed or tuned in to our presentation. Thank you so much, Logan. But if you have any further questions, please feel free to touch base with me, and give me an email, and I'll be happy to connect with you and answer any questions you may have. But apart from that, thank you so much once again, and I hope you folks have a wonderful day.
Thank you for your time and expertise. Really appreciate it. Have a great day.
Thank you. See you.